Hey guys, it's Mary here from the Leather Beast and also the host of the Leather Tamers Facebook group. Today I'm talking to you about how to develop your launch schedule for a leather good that you want to start selling. Now, whether you already have your leather goods up on Etsy or up on your own website, or you're starting completely from scratch and this would be the first time that you're going to put one of your leather goods out there for sale, you kind of need to develop a strategy. There's a lot of things that you need to do leading up to that point where you open the cart for your customer and you say it's available. So there's two ways to do this, and I'm going to talk about the two ways that you can do it, and these are kind of the things that I think about whenever I'm launching a new leather good, putting a new piece out for sale. So you can kind of work forwards. There's a couple of stages that are going to happen in the pre-planning. This is like before you've made anything. So number one, you're going to want to sketch out what you're making, whether it's a wallet or a handbag. You know, if it's just an idea in your head, you want to sketch it out, make those sketches, make your construction notes. If it's something sort of complex, what are the different stages that you have to go through to actually construct that good? So basically just take your notes on how you're going to create this item. Then, hey Justin, then you prototype your item. So then you're actually going to physically make the item. You need to make it so that you can see that your sketches actually work, that your construction notes work. There's always things that come up whenever you're making a new leather good that you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, I need to like write that in my notes and factor that into creating it, or whether that means that there's going to be additional materials required. So you need to make your prototype. And this is one that is kind of optional. Not everybody does this, but I like to kind of give a sneak peek to my audience wherever they are, whether that's on Instagram or whether that's on Facebook, kind of what I'm working on, and get some feedback, sort of validation on if what I'm actually working on is something that they're actually going to be interested in. If I'm getting really great feedback, that's awesome. If I'm getting crickets, not so great, you know, or if I'm getting suggestions saying people are like, oh, I love this, but I wish it was in this color, or does it come in this different material, or is it big enough to hold X, Y, Z? So that's kind of the third sort of part of this. Then once you go back and you sort of refine any of the design details, make any changes to the actual product, you'll probably want to create a final, hi Jose, you'll probably want to create a final product that you can then take photos of. You know, anytime you're selling anything online, you need really good photos. In my opinion, that's half the battle. If you have blurry, dark, or photos that aren't interesting, people are just going to keep scrolling by and they're not even going to see your product. So it's really important that you have great photos, and along with that you want to make sure your descriptions, your listing, and your titles for your Etsy listing or for your website are all super interesting and just make the person want to click through, resonate with the person. And then you can, and then after that, the cart is open. After that is when you sort of push publish on your listing and the cart is open. So that's kind of working forward, saying, okay, I don't have anything right now. I know I want to launch something, using those 5 sort of major milestones, if you will. You can kind of then plan out like, okay, how long is it going to take me to sketch this out? How long do I need to plan for creating my prototype? Maybe you need to order materials and it's going to take you a week or 2 to get those in. How long will I kind of validate this with my audience and get sort of feedback on this. How long is it going to take me to photograph this? Am I doing the photos, or am I hiring someone to take photos? You know, so you can sort of put time frames to all of these 5 sort of pre-planning stages. The other way you can do it is sort of working backwards. If you say, if I'm making a new handbag and I say, I really want to launch some new products by the end of the summer, right? So by the end of, let's say by the end of August, I really want to have 3 new products to launch to my audience. So then I can say, okay, my cart is going to open on the 31st of August, and then I'll work backwards. I'll say, okay, so before I can open up my cart, I need to have good photos, I need to have my titles and my descriptions made, so maybe I need 2 weeks to do that. So then that, I kind of am working backwards, saying, okay, I need that in the 2nd week of August, and then I'm going to validate in the 1st week of August. In July, I'm going to prototype my my new products, and backwards from those points, and that way I make sure I'm on track and I'm able to make my self-made deadlines. And it's just a great way to stay organized and to kind of know, like, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? So I actually have made a freebie. It's everything, including these couple of steps. That was just like one tiny little snippet of this checklist. I have a 3-page freebie of how to roll out your new product, beginning with the planning stage, the pre-launch stage, which is what I just talked about, then what to do during when you launch your product, and then also some things to follow up with afterwards. A lot of people think that once they launch their product, it's kind of like done and they can just sit back and watch the cash roll in, which that'd be nice, but there's definitely things that you can do to kind of help out with that process and make sure people are staying aware of your awesome new products that you're putting out there. So go and download the free checklist at lucrativeleathercraft.com. There's more information there, and you just put your email address and I'll send this right over to you via email. It's an awesome checklist. This is all of the steps that I use whenever I'm developing a new product and putting it out there. It's everything that I do through my own launch, and then also things that I follow up with afterwards. So if you're new to that, or if you just kind of want to see if there's anything you're missing from your current sort of